Seniors, eat avocados but never make these 6 mistakes. They can be fatal. Avocados are often called nature's butter for their creamy texture, heart-healthy fats, and nutrient-dense profile. For many seniors, adding avocado to breakfast, toast, salads, or smoothies feels like the ultimate healthy choice. And in many ways, it is. Rich in potassium, folate, and monosaturated fats, avocados can help lower bad cholesterol, support brain health, and even keep joints lubricated. But here's the dangerous truth. Very few people over 60 realize eating avocados the wrong way, or in the wrong combinations, can quietly push your heart, kidneys, and digestive system towards serious trouble. Studies have linked certain avocado habits to increased risk of blood-thinning complications, potassium overload in people with declining kidney function, and even hidden bacterial contamination when stored improperly. These aren't minor mistakes for seniors. They can be fatal. In today's video, we're exposing the 6 most dangerous avocado mistakes older adults make, often without even realizing it. We'll break down the science, share real senior stories, and give you safe, easy tips to keep avocados working for your health instead of against it. So before you slice your next avocado, watch closely, because even one of these mistakes could change everything. Mistake number 6. Eating avocados stored in the fridge for too long. Many seniors believe keeping avocados in the refrigerator will make them last almost forever, and that cold storage somehow kills any bacteria. While refrigeration does slow down ripening, it doesn't stop the internal breakdown of the fruit, nor does it prevent certain pathogens from surviving. In fact, once an avocado is ripe, its soft, high-fat, and moisture-rich flesh becomes an ideal breeding ground for harmful microorganisms such as Listeria, monocytogenes, and Salmonella, especially if left sitting in a cold but damp environment for more than a few days. Studies published in the Journal of Food Protection have shown that avocados stored past their safe period can allow bacterial colonies to penetrate beneath the peel into the edible flesh, meaning you can't just cut away the bad part. The contamination can be invisible and spread throughout. For a healthy young adult, mild food poisoning might be unpleasant but recoverable. For seniors over 60, the situation is much more dangerous because immune defenses are weaker, dehydration sets in faster, and pre-existing health conditions such as kidney problems or heart disease can turn what feels like just a stomach bug into a hospitalization. There's a real-life case from Florida where a 74-year-old woman bought a large bag of discounted avocados, thinking she was saving money and doing something healthy. She placed all of them in her refrigerator, confident they would stay fresh for weeks. Over the next 10 days, she ate them one by one, carefully cutting away any brown spots she saw. On day 11, after eating half an avocado that appeared fine, on the outside, she developed stomach cramps, nausea, and diarrhea so severe she became dizzy and collapsed. Her family rushed her to the ER, where doctors diagnosed Listeria infection, a condition that can lead to sepsis in older adults. She spent 6 days in the hospital recovering, and her doctors confirmed the bacteria likely came from the avocado flesh itself, not the peel. This case underscores a vital truth. Refrigeration slows rot, but it doesn't stop the biological clock. Once ripe, avocados should be eaten quickly, because their very nutritional richness makes them vulnerable to microbial takeover. Better tip: once an avocado reaches ripeness, keep it in the refrigerator for no more than 3 to 4 days before eating. If you've bought more than you can finish, don't risk long-term cold storage. Instead, scoop out the flesh, mash it with a little lemon juice to prevent oxidation, and freeze it in small, airtight containers or silicone molds. This method keeps the healthy fats intact, preserves flavor, and protects you from the invisible bacterial threats that thrive in forgotten fridge produce. Mistake number 5. Mixing avocados with the wrong high potassium foods. Many seniors know avocados are rich in potassium. In fact, One medium avocado contains more potassium than a large banana, and for most healthy adults, that's a good thing. Potassium helps regulate heart rhythm, supports muscle contractions, and balances fluids in the body. However, what many people over 60 don't realize is that too much potassium, especially when eaten in combination with other high potassium foods, can trigger a dangerous condition called hyperkalemia. This is when potassium levels in the blood rise beyond what the heart and kidneys can safely handle. Symptoms can start subtly: fatigue, tingling, muscle weakness, but can quickly escalate into irregular heartbeat, chest pain, and even sudden cardiac arrest. Seniors with reduced kidney function are especially vulnerable because their bodies can't efficiently filter excess potassium, and the effects can build up silently over days or weeks. The risk becomes even greater when avocados are paired with other potassium-rich foods in the same meal, such as spinach, potatoes, sweet potatoes, tomatoes, or certain types of fish like salmon and halibut. For example, a seemingly healthy lunch of avocado toast topped with fresh tomato slices and a spinach side salad can easily exceed 1,500 milligrams of potassium in a single sitting. That's more than half the daily limit for someone with kidney concerns. In one documented case from a senior health clinic in Arizona, a 68-year-old man with mild chronic kidney disease began experiencing unusual heart palpitations and dizziness after adopting a new diet he read about online. His morning routine included a smoothie with half an avocado, a banana, and spinach, followed by a baked sweet potato at lunch. After a week, his potassium levels spiked dangerously high, landing him in the hospital. The doctors explained that his kidneys simply couldn't clear the overload quickly enough, and the combination of multiple high potassium foods at each meal was the silent culprit. This case is far from rare. Nephrologists report that they often see seniors who unintentionally push themselves into hyperkalemia simply by stacking potassium-rich superfoods without realizing the cumulative effect. And the scariest part: hyperkalemia doesn't always cause pain or visible symptoms until it's severe, making it a silent, deadly threat for older adults. Better tip if you're over 60, especially if you have kidney concerns or take medications like ACE inhibitors, ARBs, or potassium-sparing diuretics. Limit your avocado portion to 1/4 or half per day and avoid pairing it with other high potassium foods in the same meal. Spread them out through the day instead. For example, have avocado at breakfast and enjoy tomatoes or sweet potatoes at dinner. This simple shift can dramatically reduce the risk of dangerous potassium buildup, while still letting you enjoy all the heart-healthy benefits avocados have to offer. Mistake number 4: eating avocados with certain medications that can turn them dangerous. Many seniors are never told by their doctors or pharmacists that avocados, while generally healthy, can interact with specific medications in ways that make those drugs more potent, less effective, or even harmful. The most concerning interactions involve blood thinners, certain heart medications, and some antidepressants. Avocados are high in vitamin K, which plays a key role in blood clotting. For seniors taking warfarin Coumadin or similar anticoagulants, sudden changes in vitamin K intake, like adding a daily half or whole avocado to the diet, can throw off the delicate balance these medications require. This can either make the blood too thin, increasing the risk of internal bleeding, or too thick, raising the risk of a blood clot, stroke, or heart attack. What makes this especially dangerous is that the effects aren't always immediate. Senior might feel perfectly fine for weeks while silent changes are happening in the blood chemistry, only to suffer a sudden complication. The risk doesn't stop there. Avocado's high fat content, while mostly heart-healthy, saturated fats can alter how certain medications are absorbed and metabolized. Drugs like verapamil, used for high blood pressure and heart rhythm problems, or some selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors (SSRIs), can linger longer in the body when combined with a high-fat meal. potentially increasing side effects such as dizziness, low blood pressure, or irregular heartbeat. There's also evidence that the tyramine present in slightly overripe avocados can trigger dangerous spikes in blood. Pressure for seniors taking monoamine oxidase inhibitors (MA) is an older class of antidepressants still prescribed in some cases. Real-world stories make the danger clear. In California, a 72-year-old woman on warfarin decided to overhaul her diet after reading about good fats and began adding a whole avocado to her lunch every day. She didn't inform her doctor because she assumed it was a harmless, healthy food. 3 weeks later, she was rushed to the hospital with severe nosebleeds and alarming bruising on her arms and legs. Her INR levels, a measure of blood clotting, had shot dangerously out of range. And the culprit was the sudden, consistent boost of vitamin K from her new avocado habit. Her case is not unique. Hospital dietitians regularly warn that even healthy foods can be risky when they change the nutritional baseline that medication dosing is built on. Seniors are particularly vulnerable because they're more likely to be on multiple prescriptions, which increases the chances of food drug interactions slipping under the radar until they cause harm. Better tip if you're taking blood thinners, heart medications, or antidepressants. Never make major changes to your avocado intake without talking to your doctor or pharmacist first. Keep your daily portion size consistent. For example, if you normally have a quarter avocado a few times a week, don't suddenly switch to a whole one daily. Consistency helps your care team keep your medication dose safe and effective while still allowing you to enjoy the benefits of avocados. Mistake number 3. Eating unwashed avocados and spreading hidden bacteria to the flesh. Many seniors assume that because we don't eat avocado skin, there's no need to wash it. Unfortunately, this assumption can turn a perfectly ripe avocado into a vehicle for dangerous bacteria. Research from the FDA found that nearly 1 in 5 avocado skins tested positive for listeria, monocytogenes, and almost 1 in 3 carried salmonella. While the skin is inedible, the danger lies in how we cut into it. The knife passes from the contaminated skin straight into the flesh, dragging microscopic pathogens along with it. These bacteria can survive even in the cool, creamy interior. And because avocados are often eaten raw, there's no cooking process to kill them. For seniors over 60, these infections aren't just uncomfortable. They can cause severe dehydration, bloodstream infections, or life-threatening complications, especially in those with diabetes, kidney issues, or compromised immune systems. The risk is even greater if the avocado is sliced and then stored for later, because bacteria have time to multiply in the nutrient-rich flesh. In one documented case, a 69-year-old man from Texas developed severe listeriosis just 2 days after eating avocado slices from a salad bar. He had no idea that the avocados had been sliced without washing the skin first, and his infection led to a hospital stay with IV antibiotics and a lengthy recovery. The scary part is that the fruit didn't look, smell, or taste spoiled. The bacteria were invisible. Even store-bought pre-sliced avocado products can carry similar risks if they're not handled and packaged under strict sanitary conditions. Many seniors also forget that avocados pass through many hands before reaching their kitchen: farm workers, packers, transporters, store employees, and other customers may all handle the fruit, leaving traces of bacteria, pesticides, or dirt behind. Skipping the wash step is essentially inviting those contaminants into the safest-looking part of the fruit, the part we eat. Better tip: always wash avocados under running water before cutting, even if you plan to peel or scoop out the flesh. Use your hands or a clean produce brush to scrub the skin gently, and dry it with a clean towel before slicing. This 1-minute habit can drastically cut the risk of transferring bacteria into the fruit. If you buy pre-sliced avocados, choose vacuum-sealed or frozen options from reputable brands, and check expiration dates carefully. And never let cut avocados sit at room Temperature for more than 2 hours. Bacteria multiply quickly in the creamy flesh, even if it looks fine. Mistake number 2. Eating overripe or moldy avocados. Thinking it's just a spot, one of the most dangerous habits among seniors. Trying not to waste food is cutting away moldy or darkened spots on an avocado and eating the rest. All this might seem harmless. Overripe and mold-contaminated avocados can contain invisible toxins and bacteria that spread far beyond the visible damage. The soft, high-fat structure of avocado flesh allows mold hyphae, the microscopic root-like structures, to penetrate deep inside, carrying with them mycotoxins that you can't see, smell, or taste. These toxins, such as aflatoxins produced by certain molds, have been linked to liver damage, immune suppression, and even increased cancer risk over time. The danger is especially high for seniors, whose immune systems are less resilient and whose livers may already be burdened by age, medications, or underlying conditions. In addition to molds, overripe avocados are more prone to harbor bacteria like Clostridium botulinum in anaerobic pockets within the flesh, especially if they've been stored wrapped in plastic or inside airtight containers for long periods. A tragic example comes from Oregon, where a 71-year-old man decided to salvage a large avocado that had sat on his counter for nearly 2 weeks. He cut away a patch of fuzzy mold near the stem and used the rest in guacamole. Within hours, he developed severe nausea, vomiting, and double vision, classic symptoms of botulism. He survived after receiving emergency antitoxin treatment. But his doctors warned that the contamination had likely spread far beyond the small visible mold spot he removed. Many seniors mistakenly believe that mold is only on the surface and that removing it eliminates the risk. But in avocados, the moist, fatty matrix means toxins and spores can be evenly dispersed throughout, even if there's no visible mold. An overripe avocado that smells sour, fermented, or unusually strong should be treated as unsafe, not just flavorful. Better tip: if your avocado shows mold, smells sour, or has large brown or black streaks inside, throw it away, no exceptions. The money saved by salvaging an overripe fruit is never worth the health risk. Buy smaller quantities so you can eat them before they pass peak ripeness, and if you find yourself with too many at once, freeze the flesh while it's still perfectly green. Remember, prevention beats repair when it comes to food safety, especially for seniors. Mistake number 1: eating avocados in excess without realizing the cardiovascular and blood-thinning risks. The biggest and most dangerous avocado mistake seniors can make isn't about storage, washing, or even food safety. It's about quantity. Avocados are incredibly nutrient-dense, and while there are healthy fats, potassium, and antioxidants are beneficial in moderation, eating them in excess can quietly overload the body's systems, especially in people over 60. One whole medium avocado contains roughly 240 calories, 21 grams of fat, and more potassium than a large banana. For a younger, healthy adult, doubling up on avocados might just mean extra calories to burn off, but for a senior with a slower metabolism, a history of heart disease, kidney challenges, or who is on medications affecting blood clotting or PHS, or electrolyte balance, the consequences can be far more severe. High avocado intake can contribute to excessive potassium hyperkalemia, which can silently disrupt the heart's electrical signals and lead to dangerous arrhythmias. At the same time, avocados' high vitamin K content can alter the clotting balance for those on anticoagulants like warfarin, increasing the risk of either dangerous bleeding or blood clots. The most frightening part is that this risk often builds gradually. Without dramatic symptoms, a person might feel just a little more tired, a little more short of breath, until one day they have a sudden cardiac event or stroke. There's a documented case from a senior wellness clinic in New York, where a 67-year-old woman, proud of her clean eating lifestyle, began eating 2 avocados a day as part of a viral online health challenge. She felt great at first, her skin improved, her digestion was better, and her cholesterol numbers looked good on her next blood test. But 3 months later, she collapsed while walking her dog. In the ER, doctors found she had severe hyperkalemia and dangerously unstable blood clotting levels. The avocados themselves weren't poison, but the relentless daily excess, combined with her age, mild kidney impairment, and blood thinner medication, had tipped her body into a dangerous imbalance. Seniors are often told that natural means safe, but when it comes to nutrient-dense foods like avocados, more isn't always better. Sometimes it's life-threatening. Better tip: for most seniors, especially those with heart, kidney, or blood clotting concerns, 1/4 to half an avocado per day is plenty to reap the benefits without overloading the body. Spread your intake throughout the week instead of eating large amounts daily. Balance avocado with a variety of other healthy fats, like olive oil, walnuts, or flaxseed, so you don't get a disproportionate surge of one nutrient. And if you take medications that affect blood thickness or potassium balance, talk to your doctor before increasing your avocado consumption. It's far easier to adjust your diet now than to recover from a crisis later. Why every senior should rethink how they eat avocados. Avocados can be one of the most powerful allies for senior health, supporting heart function, brain sharpness, joint flexibility, and even healthy skin, but only if they're handled, stored, and eaten wisely. As we've seen, from the innocent habit of leaving them in the fridge too long, to pairing them with other high-potassium foods, skipping the wash, eating moldy spots, mixing them with certain medications, and simply overdoing the portion size, these 6 mistakes can silently turn a superfood into a serious health hazard. For younger adults, the body often bounces back from dietary slip-ups. But for those over 60, the margin for error is smaller. Aging changes digestion, slows metabolism, and makes the heart, kidneys, and immune system less resilient to sudden stress. That means a bacterial infection can become a hospital stay. A nutrient imbalance can trigger a heart rhythm problem, and an unnoticed drug interaction can spiral into an emergency. The good news is that every one of these risks is preventable. By buying avocados in smaller quantities, washing them before cutting, storing them for only a few days once ripe, avoiding risky combinations, staying consistent with medication, diets, and keeping portions moderate, you can keep all the health benefits without the hidden dangers. Think of avocados as a concentrated tool, powerful when used correctly, risky when overused or mishandled. If you've been making any of these mistakes, today is the day to change that. Protect your health, share these tips with friends and family, and help others avoid the same silent traps. And remember, in nutrition, as in life, balance is everything. Did any of these mistakes surprise you? Let's talk in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a tip that could save your health or even your life.